Well, Roland Walker is in Parliament. We'll be crossing over to him later on here in the show. Okay, Roland, I can see you. Good morning to you. What's happening? Okay, all right, we're going to get to Roland in a bit. But quickly, I want to give you an update of what is making news. So the news now, and we'll start this way. Engineers behind the construction of the Nkrumah Circle interchange have been charged to make available axle limits on the interchange after a trailer truck lost balance, resulting in an accident. The truck carrying bags of sugar damaged 2 public transport vehicles, while 3 sustained minor injuries and currently receiving treatment. Eyewitnesses claim the long vehicle lost its balance due to a flat tire, but Deputy Director of Public Affairs at the Ghana National Fire Service, Billy Anaglate, has ruled out that possibility.
Then the second one is just where you are seeing with the container landing on. So that is all. So very soon we hope we'll be able to tow this one and then set the place free for movement. We had a call 1725. Yeah, that's 5:25. This evening that there was an accident. Whether they delayed in calling, we'll not be able to tell. But that was the time that we had the distress call. No, it took our men about 10 minutes to get here from Makola Fire Station. When our men got here, they actually saw 3 people basically that were injured out of this incident. We are so grateful that the injury, as they saw them, was not too much. They were in good condition, have been rushed to hospital. Well, I can't tell which hospital they were taken to.
Another engine to come help this one because there's another one up there.
Well, there is another of our rescue van also here, but they might not get here quickly because we need to move this one to let them have access before they can get here. Well, that's what exactly our men got here.
Now, several communities across the country are experiencing an acute water shortage, with droughts and the activities of illegal miners blamed for the situation. The 4 regions affected are the Northern, Central, Western and Bono Ahafo, where the Ghana Water Company a week ago shut down its plant in Sunyai after the Tano River dried up for the first time in over 40 years.
Isekendi Takoradi Metropolis has been hit by an acute water shortage, leaving residents with the burden of staying awake all night to monitor when water will flow from their taps. Checks reveals that since last week, residents have not had a continuous water supply from the Ghana Water Company. The unannounced shortage has caused many to resort to the use of sachet water for bathing and cleaning their homes.
I think for the past 2 months now, I think the water supply has become a challenge to us here in Sekendi Takoradi, most especially Fiekuma. When you have it in the weekend, that is Saturday or Sunday, it will take you like 2 weeks or 3 weeks before you get another water supply. So it is not easy for us at all.
All we have been getting is the Ebola, and the dry season has also come. So it's very hard for us to get water. So sometimes you wait the donkey. When you hear the people has opened the Ebola, the well, then you rush and go and get maybe 1 gallon, then you bath it.
The tap doesn't flow. It doesn't flow at all. Normally it comes late in the night, around 1 a.m., 2 a.m. And it can come as very tiny. It doesn't flow very well. And normally, sometimes it comes and it's very dirty. You have to put it there to settle before you use it.
I stay at New Takoradi, and then the water problem there is very serious. Sometimes it goes for like 3 weeks, 1 month, no water. And then we have to trek to far places to fetch the water. If you don't have money to take a car, even if with a car, how many gallons are you supposed to take? Or can you take along with you? It's very appalling. Sometimes you have to wake up at dawn as early as 2 o'clock and wait for the water to come before you can fetch some.
Even yesterday we had the water around 12. They took it back. So for now, I don't even know when the water is coming back again. And we've been managing the well water around the neighborhood. So apart from the well that we are all using, if you need pipe water, we have to take a gallon and go and fetch it from somewhere and bring it to your own house.
But authorities of the Ghana Water Company has explained that the shortage is due to the continuous operation of illegal miners along the Pra River, which is close to its intake points at Taboase and Posum Ase in the Wasa East District. Regional Manager of the Ghana Water Company Limited, Engineer Mark Teko Kujo, who took the press around 3 of its operational sites, says the activities of illegal miners is affecting water production.
Currently, we are just doing around 2 million gallons of water daily, against the average values of 5.5 million gallons of water. So like I said, we have a supply gap of about 3.5 million gallons of water. Already, there is a gap already in supply already for the metropolis. Coupled with this one, it has made the situation very, very bad.
As a result, Mark Teko Kujo says the company has started rationing in the Sekendi Takrady metropolis.
We have started rationing. I have to be very honest with the public. We have started rationing, and that the public should be aware that because of the situation that we find at this particular time of the year, we have to do the rationing program just to allow a fair distribution of the little water that we have.
The Ghana Water Company spends 500,000 Ghana cedis for drenching every 3 days, in addition to the extra chemicals they use in order to provide safe water, which conforms to the World Health Organization's standard. For Joy News, in Athalia Kwansa, Takrady.
Well, there are mixed expectations in Parliament ahead of today's budget statements by Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta. The budget, the first of the Akufo-Addo administration, is expected to spell out how the government will finance its ambitious manifesto pledges. But the minority in Parliament says it does not expect anything extraordinary.
I'm expecting that there will be tax cuts, because that's something they promised and they talked about. I'm also expecting that they'll give us how much it's going to cost government to embark on the free SHS program and where the monies will be coming from. I will also be expecting that they will touch on issues relating to water, and of course the Anyako water issue is something that President Akufo-Addo himself talked about during his campaign at a point, as well as the Kata Fishing Harbour. I'm not expecting that they will introduce new taxes. My expectation largely is that it will be a budget that will actually give direction as to how young men and women will be getting fresh jobs. You know, so it must obviously be one targeted at job creation.
My expectation is that, the gospel according to President Nana Akufo-Addo, as I read, I have verses 1 to 32. I want to see how it will crystallize in the budget. I'm just having some fear that the way the president and his members have been talking about the statistics fund, I don't want them to come and pull a surprise for us, telling us they want to cut down or reduce any of the 3 statistics funds, because they were specifically made and tailored for a purpose. So they shouldn't come and do cut and paste. You promise all the constituencies $1 million. Don't come and try to cut any of the statistics fund to be able to generate the 1 million. That 1 million is supposed to come as additional. My expectation is that this budget will come telling us how they are going to fund the free education. They are going to fund the 1 dam, 1 village, to fund the 1 million per constituency, or how they are going to reduce the corporate tax to 20%, how they are going to scrap the energy sector levy and all that, and still be able to create additional space to be able to run the, extravagant promises that they've made. I know that, yes, they may come and say that we are not doing everything 1 year.
Exactly, that's what I was driving to. Wouldn't it be too much to us that they do all of this in a year?
The foundation of all the things that they want to do will have to start from now. And my expectation is that in the budget, we will see the foundation.
His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo has already raised enough expectation for
for all of us to want to contemplate what will be in the budget. It's the maiden budget of the government. By the last count, before the elections, the MPP government had made 29 promises to the people of this country. Only one was quantifiable. That is to say that by the end of their tenure, they will provide potable drinking water to all Ghanaians. They have toyed with the idea of introducing free SHS. They are looking at the unemployment situation, and they want to create job opportunities for our team in unemployed youth. They have talked about nuisance taxes. They believe that those taxes stifle the private sector from investment and growth.
Including the energy sector levy.
Energy sector levy, they have since abandoned that promise. So I don't want to be tempted to believe that they will reduce them. So, to be honest with you, and then in his maiden State of the Nation address, Nana Akufo-Addo, the President of the Republic, said all the questions that were raising had answers in the budget. So everybody will look in to see those answers in the budget. So tomorrow will be an important day. It will be a make or break. I mean, it will set the MPP either on a firm foundation to catalyze the growth of this country, or it will give the people of this country an inkling of how disastrously the party will perform. So, I mean, we're all waiting with bated breath.
Today, really, let's still stay in Parliament, but on another subject. The Committee of Mines and Energy in Parliament has summoned officials of the Public Utilities and Regulatory Commission over recent allegations of mismanagement at the Commission. Joy News has learnt the PURC board will be meeting the committee on Friday to present details of investigations it commissioned some years ago into allegations of mismanagement. Member of Parliament for Aswasi and Minority Chief Whip in Parliament, Muntaka Mubarak, tells Joy News the public can be rest assured the committee will look into the issue.
Yeah, I'm told that we have a meeting this afternoon, the Energy Committee. I believe that one will go there. I don't know the detailed agenda, but I think that we'll take the opportunity to raise that to see what we have to do as a committee. And if we have to notify the Mr. Speaker to do something, definitely we'll be happy to do that.
You've heard all the allegations that are coming up, claims that money is being spent without proper procedure, money moving into private accounts. What do you think? What can be done to sanitize this?
What I keep saying is that, I mean, in fairness, that's why there's internal audit, there's external audit. So the public account, definitely, these are issues that, if it is true, will definitely find expression in the public accounts committee's report or the Auditor General's report on what is happening at the PURC. One of my worry is that when things like this come, there's so much sensationalism, so many things are being thrown out, and sometimes difficult to get response. It is difficult. But I think that the Energy Committee is one of the committees in this House that is posed to be able to invite PURC, find out what is happening. If it requires that something extraordinary has to be done, I'm sure the Energy Committee will definitely recommend that to the House.
The Tamale High Court has granted a stay of execution of an earlier judgment directing the Dagbon Regents to vacate the Gbewa Palace in Yendi for the Abudus to perform the final funeral rites of the late Yana Muhammadu Abdullahi. A High Court judge, Justice Jemfi Danko, on October 28, 2016, ruled that the Abudus reserve the right to use the palace for the funeral of the late chief. But another High Court judge, EKB Apenkwa, on Wednesday set aside that judgment, saying it defies the rules of natural justice. There's more in the following report.
Leader of the Abdu royal family, Bolin Lana Abdullahi Mahamudu, brought the case against the regent of Dagbon, Kampankuya, Na Abdullahi Yakubu Andani. The lawyers of the Dagbon regent, led by Robert Tati and Issa Mahmudu, filed a motion for a stay of execution pending appeal against the judgment of the 28 October 2016, which among other reliefs sought that the Dagbon regent was occupying the Gbewa Palace illegally and has to vacate it before the funeral rites of Na Abdullahi Mahmudu could be performed. The High Court, after considering the processes filed and submissions by lawyers, came to the conclusion that there were serious questions of law for determination at the Court of Appeal. The questions of law canvassed by lawyers for Kampankuya Na were one, that he was not given a fair hearing when the trial judge closed the case without allowing him to state his case, thus breaching the rules of natural justice. 2, the case was a cause of matter affecting chieftaincy. 3, the plaintiff started the case at a time when the matter was pending before the committee of 3 eminent chiefs, namely Asantehene, Nairi, and Yagbon Wura, in contravention of Section 83 of the ADR law of 2010. Justice Apenkwa held that the High Court will stay the execution of the judgment because the applicants have demonstrated that the Kampankuya Na will suffer greater hardship and inconvenience if the judgment is allowed to be executed. The judge has therefore stayed the execution of the judgment of 28 October 2016 to enable the lawyers of Kampankuya Na appeal against it at the Court of Appeal. Cost of 2,000 Ghana cedis was awarded against Bolin Lana and to be paid to Kampankuya Na.
Now, when you think of pickpockets, what usually comes to your mind is someone who looks scruffy and also a person with looks that fit into your stereotype. Well, you may have to change that mental picture. Some pickpockets are now disguising themselves with suits and neckties to rob unsuspecting commuters. Joe News' Maxwell Agbagba brings you the story of some of their victims in this report he calls Corporate Thieves.
The yelling by these trotro mates indicates the rush hour is on, and the desperation to get home early often results in a struggle for the few minibuses around. It is at this time that some unscrupulous persons have also decided to get to work. Unassuming in their corporate suits and neckties, they blend in nicely with commuters, except they have come to steal. A staff at the Kotoka International Airport who pleads anonymity narrates how he was attacked together with some colleagues at the Shashi bus stop close to the new overhead bridge at the Tetekwashi interchange.
A vehicle came in, and then all the people there rushed to it. So in the rush, that's when we noticed that there are some particular people amongst them that have been picking stuff from people. They are dressed so nicely, like passengers. Some are in suits and tie, long sleeves, but they have a backpack. So they approach the vehicle like they are trying to get on board, but no, they're just trying to steal from people. I got off. Another colleague of mine was getting on board the car, and then his jacket was being held. So he also turned back and like, why are you holding me? What do you want from me? Why are you touching my dress? And then out of nowhere, a punch just came in. So in the course of jumping him, I am there with him as well. And there are people there around just looking at us.
Wow.
Yes, because they were trying to steal from us and then we were being on the defensive. Now they have to attack. They all just attacked me instead. So I was hit with stuff which I don't really know. I got a cut under my eye. I was bleeding from the left side of my ear. And then people were just there. They were just watching.
The mystery surrounding the operations of these daring purse snatchers is the time they strike, their dress code, and how they are able to make bystanders helpless. Some vendors at the Shashi bus stop tell us they are aware of the operations of the syndicate, but they are unable to speak out for fear of their own lives.
But the situation here in the evening is serious because normally sometimes people complain a lot with sales here, and before you come in the morning you met people's purse, some people their shoes and others, you met one here and others. And it happens always. Even yesterday, I may say yesterday, about 2 weeks ago, we met somebody's purse in front of the doors. When we pick it, we find a number in it and we call the number. It was yesterday that the person came for it here. So it's something that is happening here, seriously.
8:30 to 8 no more. 8 o'clock no more. Over bag bomochi.
Around 8:30 p.m. they are here. They usually have backpacks. They dress like workers and struggle with commuters for cars. It is serious. They steal from unsuspecting victims. I've spoken to the airport police, but all to no avail. This is where they work. They look very nice with their nice shoes and neckties. When they are committing the act and you raise an alarm, they will physically attack you.
Incidentally, The police visibility team is stationed not too far from the bus stop where the attacks have occurred. But the officers there would not speak and referred the news team to the airport police. But they would also not speak to the issue, referring us to the Accra Region Command. In the meantime, whilst we wait to hear from the police, beware of the thieves in suits at a bus stop near you each time the rush hour begins.
And I guess the import of the story is that you be careful no matter who sits beside you or stand beside you, even when they look as polished as corporate entities. That's it for the AM News for now. We've got more updates later on. We're going to be checking up what's making headlines in the newspapers and then the online portals as well. But today, our cameras are going around the country. We're looking at expectations from the various regions as to the budgets that's going to be read later on this morning by the Finance Minister. Old eyes in Parliament. Roland Walker is in Parliament for us, and he'll be bringing us some more conversations in Parliament as well. For the newspapers, I've got a very special guest. He's editor of one of the newspapers that we review every morning here on our show. Elvis Diakon is with the Finder, and he'll join me for the review of the newspaper. Stay with us. You're watching the AM Show. What did he say?